National Party, the next Minister of Health, Comrade ALFRED Dawes.
Comrade Chairman, Comrade Party leader and next Prime Minister of Jamaica. It's a privilege for a little country boy to sit outside of the Prime Minister. I don't even know how I feel. Next Finance Minister, Comrade Julian. MPs in waiting, Comrade Steve, Comrade Bonnie, Comrade Dennis, my brother, my deputy, the man who tell them, say, we don't want no water full of shaving cream. Jesse. Our host tonight, Councillors Shearer and Pumbles, the Quinella 1 and 2. Comrade Pritakin is here, and Comrade Bev Mapari, other councillors. Junglis. Good evening. As I am sitting here, I could not help but feel the fire in. Comrades, let me state, the problem with Jamaica starts at the top. And tonight, I am going to say the Prime Minister of Jamaica needs to define who he is going into this election. Is he a hypocrite or a coward? Because in 2015, when 18 babies died, over 3 months, across 2 hospitals, in one outbreak, he called for the resignation of the Minister of Health. It is his standards that he set in 2015 that we must live by today. So in 2025, when you have 24 babies dead in one hospital in less than a month with no outbreak, what does he have to say about any resignation now? Is he a coward or a hypocrite? We preferred the opposition, Andrew Holness, who fought for the rights of people, so we let us put him back in opposition, comrades. Because you cannot have one standard when you're in opposition and another standard when you're in Prime Minister position. Comrades, it's a tragedy that we have to be here talking about dead babies again. And this is the second time we have had a dead baby scandal under this administration. In 2022, your MP, the next Prime Minister, posed questions in Parliament about 9 babies that died under this Health Minister's watch. And he bob and weave and dodge like him playing Stucky. And he refused to answer the questions. They have purposefully misled and covered up. And the Ministry of Health is more of a PR firm than it is a ministry that is tasked with providing health care. Comrades, they go out and they encourage mothers to have more babies. Do you know mothers today have a higher rate of death than 30 years ago? It is a disgrace. How can you encourage people to have more kids if they are putting their lives at risk now more than 30 years ago? Time come to end this madness. When the comrade leader made a presentation in Parliament and outlined the PNP plans, we're frightened to see how much of our plans start to implement now. All of a sudden you hear how them going to CT scan. All of a sudden you hear they're going to refurbish operating theater. All of a sudden you hear them talking about primary care. They had 9 years to do it. And it's only in the 10th year after we declared our plans that they decided that they're going to go that route. But you know, somebody can thief some ideas, but them can't implement some ideas. And it's a big difference. Because when we talk about scans, you need a CAT scan in every parish hospital. You cannot be going out on an ambulance when an ambulance is available, when a nurse is available on a bumpy road to go and get a scan outside. What can go, sir? You have a stroke and you're waiting a week before you know whether or not you have a bleed or a clot. Two very different treatments. And that is why we have 7,000 strokes per year and 2,500 of those people die needlessly. And others cannot go back to their work. But all you have is PR. They put up billboards because that's what they do. They can't implement proper screening programs. Straight billboard government. When we talk about cancer screening, they say, oh, they're going to do cancer screening. How can you be serious about cancer screening when you have 2 mammograms in the entire public health system in the island? And 90% of women diagnose their cancer when they feel a breast lump, which means it is more likely to be advanced rather than a mammogram. How can you talk about cancer screening when you don't have colonoscopy to check if you have bleeding from the colon and that is because of a cancer or polyp? It takes 2 years for you to get that done in the public health system. And they're going to say, oh, they have a plan. They don't have any plan for prostate cancer, which kills more men than anything else. But you know what the minister loves to do? Every time him have a problem, him do a road tour. So him want Jamaica to exercise more. Him do a Jamaica Moves road tour. Him want you to know what normal blood pressure is, what blood sugar is. So him do a know your numbers tour. Him want us to eat a little bit better, exercise a little bit more, take more responsibility. So him do a taking responsibility tour. But I have one thing to say to him tonight. The next time you hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Because the time has come when we are going to demand outcomes over optics. Because this is what this government has, optics over outcomes. Them cut every ribbon, them break every ground. They go Cornwall and fix up one little building in the shell, one little room, and open it, and Cornwall still cannot be done. 9 years later, $9 billion, and it's pure drywall I put up now. And you hear them come out about scope creep and re-scoping and all of that. Them thief. I know I don't want to hear about the drill tonight, but the drill is a matter of serious investigations now. Serious investigations. So I'm going to leave that alone. Read into that what you will. But I say this to you, that the PNP government going to drill them with plans. We're going to drill them with the land titling. We're going to drill them with 50,000 house. We're going to drill them with the first in the family university grant. We're going to drill them with the first time homeowners grant. We're going to drill them with the small and medium enterprises support. Drill them with the free food for the kids so them don't have to hungry when them trying to learn. And we're going to drill them with the anti-corruption. Because them a talk about third term. We say jail term. But comrades, we have a plan for health. And that plan for health is not about optics. It's about outcomes. Because for too long, we have been subjected to the billboards, the ribbon cutting, the fancy videos, and people are still sleeping on floors, still waiting for life-saving medication. Babies are dying, mothers are dying. We need comprehensive healthcare reform. The boring type that will see us getting CAT scans in every parish hospital. The boring type where we don't have to cut a ribbon to hand over an ambulance so we have a proper emergency service. Where when we're putting in beds in A&E departments and wards, we don't have to have a whole news team there. But people will see and talk that the change has come. And it has been brought here by the People's National Party. A big part of the change is the change in the regions. You have 60% of Jamaica living between St. Thomas and Clarendon right now. We have to have more hospitals. Portmore needs a hospital. KPH, we need to restructure what we think of KPH being. It has to be more critical care. St. Joseph's has to be more of the general care. We have to look at cancer care. We have to look at public-private partnerships, reasonable public-private partnerships. Because there's nothing wrong with profits. What is wrong is obscene profits at the expense of the Jamaican people. And that is something that we have to stop in the Ministry of Health. Because when corruption hits roads and contracts involving roads, you end up with pothole. When corruption hits health, you end up with a $31 million drill that could have paid for a neonatal ICU space to save the life of a child. We pay for corruption in human lives, in babies' lives. And we have to stop this corruption now. And that is why 1,000% I will follow Mark Jefferson Golding to the top of the mountain. Because this is not a man who come to scrape. This is not a man who, if baby's dead under my watch, I can dodge and weave. Am I fire me? Not true, boss. Can't do that. You can't. If I am not doing my best and PRing out, I'm gone. And that is the level of accountability we cannot get from this administration. And that is why they have to go. And when they go, and we're fixing and building back Jamaica, the Ministry of Health will have to do some detoxification. The detoxification means when people lose a relative in Kingston, they don't have to travel 18 miles to go Archer in friend funeral home to go see and collect the body. It means that one of the 30 funeral homes in Jamaica, in Kingston, can get that body. It means that when you have a contract and it's bid on, a $3 million drill cannot cost $32 million again. It will never happen again in Jamaica. It means that a lot of the people put on the boards to guarantee contracts for Friends and Kumbolo. Them gone. And more importantly, it means that we will restore and compassion to the Ministry of Health. In spite of everything, and I must say my heart goes out to all of the grieving mothers and the fathers and the relatives. We have not heard one remorseful word from the Minister of Health. We have not heard any "I am sorry." There is no compassion. They denied anything is a problem. They deflected the blame onto the mothers, and they never said sorry. We are going to be a government of compassion. We want to make sure that when you go to a hospital and you're sick, you will feel better and you will also feel good about the experience. We will restore dignity so that you hold your head high when you're going to a hospital and you say, Lord, I dead house, may I go. You won't sleep on floors. You won't sit all day in chairs, nights, weeks. We will restore dignity. We will restore compassion. But before we get there, we have to win. And there's a season for everything under the sun. And we have been calm for too long now because they are fighting for power. And we have to fight back. And that is why the fire that is ignited here tonight must spread. And comrades, we have to start the march to victory. So let it be said tonight that the fire that burns and burns away all of the corruption and clear out all of them out of Garden House began tonight here in the jungle, and it is that fire in the jungle that is spreading across Jamaica. Comrades, blaze the fire! Blaze the fire! March on to victory!
March, we are march,
Thank you.
march, march, we are march, march, march.
Thank you.
We are marching on to progress. Dying hope is all we allow. Now we don't care what deliverance say or what they say we are. Now we need to fight deliverance and to set Jamaica free. We are that fire for faith, and we march into victory. Everything they broke down, we have a